A turnaround could happen in Bama's favor. Could the recruit who has already verbally committed to Auburn land at Bama? That would be interesting. Ahead of the news, subscribe to the channel for more Bama news. The Alabama Crimson Tide are stepping up their recruitment battle for Hezekiah Harris, one of the most sought-after players in the 2026 class. The prospect who has verbally committed to Auburn has attracted attention from a number of elite programs, including Oregon, Florida, and Miami. However, with a recent visit by Kalen DeBoer and Freddie Roach to Huntsville, Alabama, where Harris attends Mae Jemison High School, the Crimson Tide made it clear that they are not going to give up on the race so easily. DeBoer and Roach's visit to Harris marks a pivotal point in the recruiting process, as Alabama not only seeks to land a highly rated player, but also positions itself as a formidable option to pivot from an already committed Tigers. Alabama has shown interest in Harris since the Nick Saban days, and now with DeBoer at the helm, the Crimson Tide coaching staff will be pushing even harder to make Harris a cornerstone of their defense moving forward. Despite already being committed to Auburn, Harris is no stranger to Alabama's tradition and excellence. The program offers an elite coaching structure, a history of success at the highest level, and a consistent presence in championship competition, all of which can weigh heavily on a player's decision. The opportunity to play under a renowned coaching staff and with access to Tuscaloosa's state-of-the-art infrastructure could prove appealing to an athlete aspiring to become a strong, dominant prospect in the future. Harris's potential as an edge rusher is clear, and his physical skills make him a player with all the tools to excel at the next level. With a combination of strength, height, and speed, he has the ideal profile to thrive on Alabama's defensive line, which puts the Crimson Tide in a strong position to win this matchup. Alabama's winning culture and promise of developing athletes into future professionals could be the difference that convinces them to shift their allegiance from Auburn to Tuscaloosa. With Harris highly coveted, Alabama has an excellent opportunity to land another big name on its defense, continuing its tradition of attracting the best talent in the country. The matchup with Auburn will be tough, but with the support of its coaching staff and its history of success, the Crimson Tide has the tools to turn the tide in its favor. Let's get going! The Alabama Crimson Tide are still relentless in their recruiting. And Dre Quinn, a promising four-star edge rusher from Georgia, appears to be a top priority. With running backs coach Robert Gillespie paying the young athlete a personal visit this week, the message was clear: the Tuscaloosa program is serious about bringing Quinn into its already legendary defense. Quinn, who attends Greater Atlanta Christian School in Norcross, is on the radar of several college football powerhouses, including Auburn and Clemson, in addition to Alabama itself. But as the player himself pointed out, the Crimson Tide's effort has stood out. It means a lot. It shows that they really prioritize me and want me there, he said, evidencing how Alabama's approach resonates with athletes who aspire to compete at the highest level. Alabama's offer to Quinn, made in November during a campus visit, marked a special moment for the athlete. He enthusiastically recalled the impact of being recognized by an institution with the Crimson Tide's history and prestige. Knowing that Bama has been one of the best college teams since I was a kid until now says a lot, and I'm grateful to have an offer. It's exactly that kind of cultural and historical impact that the Alabama program uses to its advantage in its recruiting, creating an appeal that's hard to resist for young talent like Quinn. With a visit scheduled for Junior Day on February 1st, the Crimson Tide will have another opportunity to impress the Georgia prospect. Dre Quinn has the ideal profile to thrive on Alabama's defense. His athletic ability, combined with consistent work on the defensive line, makes him the type of player the program has historically developed into stars in college and professional football. Gillespie's visit demonstrates that the program recognizes the potential and is willing to do whatever it takes to bring him to Tuscaloosa. For Alabama, recruiting Quinn is more than just adding another piece to the puzzle. It's a reminder that the program isn't resting on its laurels in its pursuit of excellence, nor is it complacent in its elite position in college football. Each new recruit is an extension of that mindset, and Dre Quinn, with his admiration for the program and its potential, seems like a perfect fit. As Quinn weighs his options, Alabama's involvement in the recruiting process continues to be an example of how the program maintains its reputation for excellence. And for Tide fans, it's great to know that talents like Quinn are considering Tuscaloosa as a promising destination. And speaking of a big name who passed through Bama, Tua Tagovailoa's saga with the Dolphins continues to be a story of undeniable talent, mixed with physical challenges that test the limits of the Miami franchise's patience and planning. After a disappointing season, General Manager Chris Grier made it clear that, while the team sees enormous potential in Tua, his availability on the field will be the centerpiece of any aspirations for future success. In a press conference that revealed frustration and hope in equal measure, Grier highlighted the impact of Tagovailoa's absences and the importance of a full and healthy 2025 season for the quarterback. Looking back at Tua's trajectory, who shone at Alabama under the Crimson Tide spotlight, his ability has always been unquestionable. In 2024, even with only 11 games played, he recorded an impressive completion rate of 72.9%, a feat that places him among the NFL's historical elite. Those numbers are a testament to his natural talent and the hard work that has defined his career. But as Grier pointed out, the harsh reality of football is that talent alone isn't enough if you can't get on the field. Grier's constructive criticism reflects the urgency the team feels for Tua to evolve not only as a player but also as a manager of his own health. He has to be available. He has to know how to protect himself, the GM said. It's a tall order for any competitive athlete, especially one like Tua, who has always played with intensity and passion. But the transition from college star to leader of an NFL franchise requires that maturity, and Grier's words indicate that Tua is aware of that and is working to adjust his approach. Tua's absence at critical points in the season forced the Dolphins to rotate quarterbacks, hurting the team's consistency. Even with capable backups, Miami finished 8-9 and missed out on a third consecutive postseason. This marks more than 2 decades since the Dolphins' last playoff win, a drought that has weighed not only on the franchise but also on its loyal fan base. Despite that, Grier expressed optimism about the future. He noted that at 26, Tua is still growing, both as a coach and as a leader in the locker room. That growth has been noted by his teammates, who have praised his impact as a leader and his positive influence on the group. He's one of the best leaders they've ever had for a quarterback, Grier said, adding that confidence in Tua's ability remains high within the organization. With the 2025 season on the horizon, the Dolphins plan to aggressively address the quarterback position in the offseason, including potentially looking to draft talent. This is not only a response to Tua's absences, but also an indication that Miami wants to protect itself against the unforeseen events that inevitably arise in the NFL. The confidence in Tagovailoa is clear, but like any organization that strives for excellence, the Dolphins are committed to exploring every option available to ensure the team's competitiveness. For Tua, the challenge now is clear. He needs to become the player everyone knows he can be, but most importantly, he needs to be present. That means making smart decisions on the field, avoiding unnecessary risks and, as Grier put it, living for the next play. That mindset will be crucial not only to his career, but also to the Dolphins' ambitions of finally breaking their long drought of postseason victories. The story of Tua Tagovailoa is far from over. For Alabama fans, who have seen him emerge as one of the best talents to ever wear a Crimson Tide uniform, the hope is that he overcomes these challenges and shows the same ability in the NFL that he displayed in Tuscaloosa. Alabama's Iron Man in the NFL? With a remarkable NFL debut, former Alabama Crimson Tide defensive end J.C. Latham showed why his transition to the professional game was accompanied by so many expectations. Drafted 7th overall by the Tennessee Titans, Latham played all 1,094 offensive snaps at left tackle in the 2024 season, solidifying himself as a true Iron Man at his position. Even in a tough year for the Titans, which ended with a disappointing 3-14 record, the rookie's performance stood out as one of the few bright spots in a campaign that left much to be desired. For Alabama, which continues to be a talent factory for the NFL, seeing Latham assume such a significant role right away is further proof of the excellence that defines the program led by Kalen DeBoer. The consistency, resilience, and work ethic that Latham has demonstrated in the NFL are clearly rooted in the Crimson Tide culture, where they produce not just athletes, but professionals prepared for the highest level of the sport. Throughout the season, Latham faced challenges of all kinds, especially on a team that was struggling to find its identity. Yet his ability to protect the quarterback and match up against some of the best pass rushers in the league showed that he is prepared to be an anchor of the Titans' offensive line for many years to come. His own words reflect the maturity that Alabama cultivates in its players. "My goal is to improve my conditioning to an elite level so that I can dominate the game for 60 minutes. That self-evaluative approach and desire for growth is exactly what separates great players from average ones." Titans coach Brian Callahan also recognized Latham's impact, highlighting his importance to the future of the franchise. "I thought he played really well all season," Callahan said. "This is a really important offseason for him to really take that next step and be the caliber of player that I think he's capable of. And there's no doubt that with the dedication Latham has shown, that next step is within his reach." But beyond the stats and technical analysis, what really stands out about J.C. Latham is his commitment to excellence. He's already begun talking with his coaches to map out an improvement plan for the offseason, highlighting the kind of mentality that Alabama always strives to instill in its players. That determination, combined with his raw talent, makes Latham a role model for current Crimson Tide players and an inspiration to fans who have followed their idol's journey to the NFL. For Kalen DeBoer and his staff, seeing players like Latham thrive at the professional level serves as a testament to the work that's been done in Tuscaloosa. Latham's success directly reflects Alabama's reputation, further cementing the program as a premier destination for young talent looking to reach the pinnacle of football. As the Titans look to rebuild after a challenging season, J.C. Latham is a key part of that process. And for Alabama fans, there's no doubt that this is just the beginning of a long and promising career for a player who represents everything the Crimson Tide values: talent, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of being the best. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.